Cool video this week. It's not that. It's not that either, but look at my cool t-shirt. Some kind person sent me that. You didn't give me your name though, so I can't give you a shout out. You're going to have to excuse me squinting, but the sun is beating down on me. It's 30 degrees on the yard here. It's just unheard of for the UK, so I'm absolutely sweating my arse off. Yeah, cool t-shirt, but it's really thick cotton and a dark colour. So I am going to have to swap it for something in a minute before I start work. Yeah, that's coming soon. That's not what this video is. This video is this. Let me turn the camera around. That's not something you see every day, is it? I'm not actually sure I've ever seen one in the flesh before. They were big in Japan, and this particular one is a New Zealand import. It was imported, no, yeah, what? No, yet what? It's from New Zealand. It was sold new in New Zealand. They were a thing in New Zealand, apparently. And it was imported from New Zealand into the UK. Isn't that cool? So it's a GS1200SS. People describe them as a bandit with a dress on, but I think that's a little bit unfair. It's a little bit more than that. So 1200 bandit engine. I have no idea whether the spec is the same, exactly the same as a 1200 bandit. No idea. The frame looks kind of the same, but this sort of trellisy bit, can you see in there, or is it underexposed? This sort of trellisy bit in here, that doesn't look bandity to me. That looks different. They had a gusset, didn't they? The 1200 bandits. Anyway, you tell me. I can't remember. If I had them side by side, I'd know. And then quite a big difference is it's got twin rear shocks. Oh, I better not get the number plate in the shot. It's got twin rear shocks, so the swing and armour stuff is different. Now this particular one, so this is, look, see on that label there, if I get it in shot, Suzuki New Zealand Limited, right? Tell me, because I can't find any information. It's also got this Yoshimura badge riveted to the frame. It looks really factory. Was that something Suzuki New Zealand did, like as a special one-off type thing? And then it's got this full Yoshi system on it. Is that going to be factory? I don't know. And then actually looking at this isn't quite the same as a bandit, is it? The fins have sort of been milled on the head. There's actually, when you start looking at it, it's quite different to a bandit. Same calipers, were they 6-pot this era? So this is a, in case you're wondering, it's a 2003 vintage. And then it's got this massive fairing, which is kind of cool. Sort of billety top yoke. I think the clocks are a bit of a shame. That's like K1 GSX-R1000, K2 GSX-R1000 from that era, isn't it? If it had, personally, I think if it had analog, you know, like the GSX-R clocks on the top yoke, that would look much cooler. But anyway, so it's here. Get to the point, Jim. It's one of those, it stood for years type bikes. I believe, if I'm getting my facts correct, it stood since 2015. So it stood for 10 years. It's been in the guy's house. The fuel tank has still got some fuel in, which smells a bit iffy. The other thing I did notice just walking around it is that is seized solid. So it's not seized, it's not seized on the pivot here. Something's going on in this master cylinder, so that's going to need to come apart. It is really easy to push around, so the brakes aren't binding. So here's what I think we're going to, basically I've been tasked with make it rideable again and possibly MOT it. I think it'll probably turn into a service, a full-on service and a carb clean, which might not be that interesting. Might be super interesting. Oh, and we've got the master cylinder to rebuild as well. Let's get it on the bench in the workshop out of this fucking burning sunshine and make a plan. Have a little bit of a better look at it now it's in the shade and I'm not melting. It almost looks not original, this clock, but then I just found, I was just looking on the interweb for information because I know nothing, and it does appear that they had this clock, although the examples I've seen, I found the original sales brochure on our website. The back of the clock was black, not white. This is interesting, isn't it? This sort of trellis work on the fairing frame. Not something you generally see. The top yoke almost looks aftermarket, although it isn't. I'm pretty sure it isn't. It just got that sort of look about it. Have a look down this side. Yeah, so reading on the interweb, the way they describe it in the sort of sales literature, and I did find there was a practical sports bike episode magazine edition from, I think it was 2012. They did a GSXR 1100 versus one of these. Be kind of cool to find that article and have a read, but they describe it as more GSXR 1100 than Bandit. Looks more Bandit to me. Yes, you can see the rear shocks, twin rear shocks. But this is very Bandit-esque, isn't it? The way the frame and the airbox, and, you know, not GSXR at all. Right, so my plan is, I think I'm going to, those chrome caps going to come off. Let's get it on an ABBA stand, or a stand of some sort, and just take it to bits. Let's pull the calipers off, let's get that rear master cylinder off, let's get the tank off, let's get the plugs out of it. There's no battery on it, or if there is a battery, it's completely flat. We should probably do the normal, at least turn it by hand, get the plugs out, maybe stick a bore scope down in there. I'm not worried particularly. It's been stored in somebody's house for the last 15 years. You can only assume that it's probably all right. Right, let's crack on. It's on an ABBA stand. Those, I think like a Bandit, they just pop out of the little swinging army hole. So that was easy. What I did notice, is it relevant? Not really. The swinging arm pivot is really close to the ground. You sort of notice when you put things on an ABBA stand, because the stand goes on the swinging arm pivot. It's a fucking long way to lift it up. Why am I telling you that? I have no idea. Seat then. Let's get the seat off it. Assuming, does the seat hump come off first? I know nothing. From the back, maybe? Ah, that then. Oh, hang on. That's not. It's bolted on normally, that then. Like that. What's just happening? Alright, so the seat. Yeah, just like a Bandit. But let's put that there. You come with me and have a look. You have your little standage. Looks just like a Bandit, doesn't it? That's the same type of... Oh, look, that's cool. The remote reservoirs for the shocks are mounted in the back there. That's kind of unique, isn't it? Methinks. So no battery. This is all loose. Where are the... Oh, they're the seat bolts. The seat bolts? One of them is. No. The seat bolts are also like a GSXR. You know, when it holds the panel and the bolts are down in there by the looks of it. Although they're not original, are they? And the little spacer noggin top hat piece is missing out of there. Okay, we can fix that though. Air filter looks absolutely... Can I zoom in there? How do I do that? Like that. Fucking hell, the air filter looks horrible. There's all sorts of schmoo down in there, look. Can you see? The camera's having a hissy fit. Oh God, are we going to be able to get one of those? Right, let me put you back on the stand and let's get the fuel tank off. What we're going to need, a 10mm T-bar, and what does it have by way of fuel tap then? Can he see fuel tap? Oh, that's handy, my torch is flat. Well done. It's just got a vacuum tap with no on off by the looks of it. Does it have a pump or does that go straight to the carbs? Well, let's find out, Jim. Lift the fucking tank up. Alright, 10mm T-bar. I'm going to wear my mechanics gloves, not my nitrile gloves. I can't fucking stand sweaty hands in nitrile gloves. It gives me the EBGBs. Fucking sweat dripping out of you. So gloves like this, although, I mean, technically they're making your hands warmer, aren't they? Much more comfortable in the hot weather. I used to exclusively just wear mechanics gloves. I never wore latex or nitrile or any of those rubber gloves. For the longest time, I always wore gloves when I was working. Just got really used to working with mechanics gloves. Okay. Get that out of there. Why are you fucking stuck in there? Somebody glued you. No. Let me get me rubber knocking stick to put underneath there. Like that. Make sure the yoke doesn't know there's good clearance there. Okay. You want to have a look? There's not really a great deal to see. So we've got a vacuum. Focus on there, please. Focus. Is it focused? I can't fucking tell on this little screen. There's a fuel pipe, vacuum pipe, fuel level sensor wire, and a breather. And that is it. Nice and straightforward. I tell you what, getting old and fucking having shit eyesight isn't much fun. Constantly putting my fucking reading glasses up and down on my head is getting old. Like me. Can I get that from that side? No, I can't. I'm going to have to stand in your way, sorry. Okay. Where does that wire go? To there, look. I think that's it. It's as not very complicated as that. I bet it looks like a bandit under here. No, it fucking does not. Or maybe it does. But a later bandit, not a... come and have a look. That frame is fucking completely different. Yeah, calling it a bandit in a dress is a bit of an insult, really, because it's a different bike completely. Okay, yeah, and look at this fucking airboxy. Yeah, completely different. Right, what next? Get that air filter out. What are these carbs going to be like to get off? Oh God! Gonna have to see that comes off a bit like a. Is that just on rubber noggins? I can't do it one-handed. Let me put you back on your tripod. So, help me understand how that comes off then. Like that. Got rubber grommety thing there. Hooks over the top. The fuck is that? Oh, that's that tank breather. That's a float ball breather. Yeah, there's a good bit of clearance there to get the airbox back. But I think a lot of Oh no, there's not that much stuff in the way. Let's get this cover out of the way. Okay. Fucking hell. Okay. Oh wow, okay. This is one ginormous. Comes all the way back here. Get you a better view. Yeah, it's all the way back. So that bolt's holding it on, which is actually loose. That's loose too. Where are the bolts for that then? Maybe that's those two Allen bolts there. Okay. How the fuck are you going to get that out of there? How very Suzuki of you. I'm going to have to take the fucking front wheel out to get this panel out. Probably. That's what it'll turn out to be. Oh my fucking god! Are you kidding me? You motherfucker. It's seen that t-shirt. The t-shirt is fucking hanging up right there. Fucking compressor. As if on fucking cue. It hasn't gone off for days, that compressor. It does not leak air anymore. Although fucking saying that, it was just hissing at me. Cheeky bastard thing. I'm going to have to take this whole rear section off. Well, not the camera. Which, I don't know, how much of a ball ache is that? Quite a bit, maybe. Right, let's do that then. Let's start by removing these. These are not standard. The guy did say that they're not tight either. They're not standard. The guy made these. It had, when he got it from New Zealand, let me focus. I mean, he did make a nice job of making that, to be fair. Although, I don't know. Is that enough fucking thread? I don't know. Come on, focus, you fuck. Oh, come on now. The heat's getting to the camera. You see what I'm saying? Even though it's out of focus, not much thread showing, is there? But whatever. What was I saying? Yeah, he made those because when he got it from New Zealand, it had one of those racks with a hoop on the back. Fun fact, you might not know this, I worked for a Suzuki dealer in Auckland in New Zealand in the late 90s. Everybody had these racks which had this hoop thing and you drop your rucksack over the fucking top of it. Never caught on in the UK, but it was a thing that everybody had. I'm sure there was a name for them too, I can't remember now. Yeah, it's like only 3. I've probably got some longer stainless Allen bolts I can put in there when it goes back together, but those bolts are not, it's like a tiny bit of thread showing. They're not long enough. Do that with a little rat shit, or should I get an Allen key? Do it with this because I can't be asked to walk back to the toolbox, and I already have this, even though it'll take 3 times fucking longer. Okay, one connection block. Fucking hell, not even slightly a ball ache to get off. Awesome. You go over there for now. I'll find you a proper home in storage later. Okay. Now I can get that out with an 8mm T-bar. Like that. And then, does that fucking help? I can't see how that is ever going to come out of there. It's just fucking encapsulated. And down in there, fuck me, how is that airbox held in position? Oh God. It's just not a Honda, is it? Do you know what I mean? If it was a Honda, it would have taken itself apart by now. I mean, it's just, I don't understand. Oh, I know what it'll be. I know what it'll be. To get the carbs off, you've got to take the fucking swinging arm out. So I've got there's a battery holder tray thing here. 2 bolts go up into the frame on little brackets, and 2 into the back of this mud guard. So I've got that loose, which is giving me a little bit of fighting room. I'm wondering, let's get that screw out. Pretty sure that doesn't do anything in terms of holding the airbox in. The airbox feels like, on some bikes, I cannot fucking see behind there, but, oh, hang on. Oh, you dummy, Jim. Yeah, that screw looks like it goes into a well nut in the airbox. So now, if I had the right screwdriver, stand by, I'm thinking I might just be able to loosen these clamps and slide the airbox back. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? If I can get it in the hole, that is. Jim, what are you doing? Thank you. Go around the other side. They don't look like they've ever been disturbed, these screws. It all looks nice layer of dust over everything. Looks all original. Now then, is it going to pull back or not? Yes. You fucking beauty. I can smell stale fuel. I've released the gas. Okay. And while we're here, actually, with the correct screwdriver, let's have a look at that air filter. What did I do with that screwdriver? Fuck me, I just had it in my hand. Oh, there it is. Yeah, this air filter looks pretty disgustoid. So chances of getting another one. Is it the same as something else? You can sort of assume it would be. You never know with these things. You're going to come out. Holy smoke, guys. That is absolutely... I don't know whether you're going to be able to see it. Let me try and get it in shot for you. It's absolutely fucking hanging. Okay. I'm going to compile a parts list once I've got it all in bits, and we'll see what's available and what's not. Right, carburetors. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Jim, why are you just wading in and just taking the carbs off without even attempting to try and start it? Trust me, this bike has stood for 10 years. It smells like it's got stale fuel in it. If by some absolute miracle we could get it to start... Uh-oh, I'm about to be disturbed. If by some absolute miracle we could get it to start and it ran okay, there's no way those carbs are going to be reliable. You saw with the GSXR video all the little O-rings and stuff that needed to be replaced. If it did happen to run all right, it would be a fucking hand grenade with a loose pin waiting to go wrong. don't have to have that conversation with the customer when he rings me when he's had it back a month and he goes, Jim, it's leaking fuel. We're not going there. I can hear little footsteps. You all right, babies? Camera's rolling.
Huh? Is it?
Yeah. Just don't go in front of it.
Why?
They can hear your voice, but you're not allowed to go in front of it.
Why?
Because you're not a YouTube star like me yet.
Oh, yeah, because all these tiny geckos.
Oh, tiny geckos.
They
Put one in my hand.
them.
They really want to know what a tiny gecko is.
Wait, I want to put loads in. Let me put in there. Show the pot.
Sorry, guys.
I've got so many.
You thought you were watching a motorbike being repaired. There you go. Tiny geckos. Amazing. How was school?
Good.
Good?
Yeah.
Did any knowledge go in your brain?
No. Where's the camera? What's the booty? It's shiny.
Anyway, leave me be. I'm trying to fix this motorbike. And I'm hot and bothered.
Goodbye.
Love you. Love you. See you in a bit. Love you. Okay. Carburetor's off. That's what I was doing. What was I saying? Got to build in some reliability. You saw, didn't you, with the GS6R, how hard those O-rings were? It would just be a disaster waiting to happen if I didn't go through the carb. So I'm not even going to attempt to try and start it. I'm just going to pull the carbs off, service them, clean them, new O-rings, all the sort of places where they're going to leak. Build in a little bit of reliability. Right, let's do that then. Carbs off. That's all the clamps loose. What else is there? There is a wire there for the TPS. Get that undone without fighting too much. Oh, come on now. Fucking hell, really? That's it. The choke cable, which will be easy to get off. Like that. I've got two throttle cables. I'm wondering whether this top fairing is going to have to come off. I'm hoping not. It's not really in the way, but it sort of feels like it is a little bit. Like that. Although they've gone back into the... I think what I might do is... Why are you attached again? It's better. I think I'm going to disconnect the cables from the twist grip. Give me so I can pull the cables out a bit to get the carbs disconnected. Do you see what I mean? The other thing is it's got heated grips on it. Horrible heated grips. He wants to go back to the original Suzuki grips, which means I think I'm going to have to find a throttle tube, aren't I? The grip comes with the throttle tube glued to it already. Again, I'll add that to my parts to find list along with the air filter. And yeah, let's get... I'm going to need a fucking stubby screwdriver, aren't I? Or can I come up from underneath there? You come up from underneath there, look. Now, in order to disconnect them, I am going to need to undo the carb end, and at least, you know what I'm saying, because there's not enough free play to unhook the, from there, 10mm spanner. I unhook you from your bracket, like that. I should then have enough fighting room up here to unhook this cable. Like that. And your friend. Now, do they push in? I can't remember. Oh, there's a little noggin holding them on. That one screws in. It's easy enough. And the other one's got a little plate with a screw. In fact, can I just let them do that? Probably. Is that going to give me enough free play? Maybe. I basically need to get them out the side here far enough to be able to unhook them from the... Yeah, that's fucking more than enough play there. It's actually a bit more fighting room than I thought it was going to have. Undo you. What sort of a view have you guys got? Can you actually fucking see what I'm doing? I think it's alright. Oh, for a blooming cameraman. It would be amazing. But problem is, they'd be standing around with their thumb up their bum for 90% of the time while I fanny around doing other stuff. Because you know, I'm not a YouTuber, guys. I'm a fucking mechanic. So I film some of the stuff I work on that I think might be interesting to you guys. But you're seeing a tiny proportion of my day job. So it's... Don't be a bunch of tight bastards and fucking subscribe, please. Because I'm fucking not making any money doing this. Well, actually I am. I'm making money for my patrons, and you know who you are, patrons. You're bloody awesome. You're literally what give me the motivation to keep making these bloody videos. Right, there you go. Oh, if you had smell-o-vision, needles look good. Let's get them on the bench and let's get the float bowls off and have a goosey gander. The smell seems to have subsided quite a lot. Interesting to see what state they're in, won't it? Green and furry, or nice and clean, or somewhere in between. What are we thinking? Not bad at all. Slightly sort of, yeah, needs a clean, doesn't it? Bit, what's the word? I don't know what the word is. Dry and crusty looking. So they're the type of carburetors that don't have, hang on, let me get my pointy nose pliers and my little pick. A problem we have with this type of carb, which is a, fucking hell, what are they called? What am I thinking of? They're called, are they CVKs? Yeah, this, or CVRs, can't remember. CVRs, they're the type, what used to have, lots of bikes use them, like the old GPZ 900s used them. What am I saying? Speak, Jim. The float needle valve seats aren't removable, like the BS series carburetors, where the seat comes out with an O-ring. That can cause you problems. Lots of the carbs I do have got, you know, rotted seats. You can cut them and polish them, but you're on a slippery slope to a fucking disaster by doing that sometimes. Yeah, they look pretty blooming good, don't they? I wonder if those... They're not going to be. I'll just check to see if the idle mixture screws are seized in. Nope. Wasn't expecting them to be. So these are going to be a straightforward strip, clean and rebuild. Right, float bowl gaskets and the fuel distribution pipe seals. Oh, that's my fucking phone again. Yeah, the little O-rings that go on this fuel tee and these pieces here and here. That's a guaranteed to leak kind of place when they get a bit of age on them. Let me get the float bowls off. Let me answer this phone call, just in case it's important. Superbike surgery.
Hello mate, my name's Mike. I messaged you a few days ago about VFR leaking fuel.
Okay.
November.
What I said was my diary is shut. I'm not booking anything else in until September. I need to get to September and see how my diary looks before I start booking new work in. It's likely November before you'll get anything done out of me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm quite easy.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'll wait.
But yeah, my point is, I can't book anything else in. I've got such a massive backlog. I need to basically get to the beginning of September and just see how the land lies. You know, in terms of what work I've still got left to do, etc. for the year. Because I've got engine build work going on. I've got all sorts going on. There's one of me. So I don't want to start putting stuff in the diary and then stressing myself out and letting people down. So I've basically said no work in the diary at all now. Don't book anything else in until we get to September and then see where we are. All right. Well, call me at the beginning of September and let's have a conversation and try and get it in the diary. All right. Awesome. Thanks, man. All right. Cheers, buddy. Bye-bye. Bye. Shall I leave that conversation in? He didn't identify himself, did he? I'm sure he won't mind, but that's the state of play at the moment for me. In case you were wondering, the diary is so full of work. I've got so many things promised to so many different people that I literally aren't booking anything in until the 1st of September. In case you were wondering, I'm assuming all these carbs look identical. Okay, that one's slightly greener and furry, not even furry, but smells stale, and there's a bit of a sheen to it, you know. Pretty good though, considering it was obviously drained of its fuel, wasn't it, before it was laid up. So, did I say, or was I interrupted by that phone call? O-rings for here, here and here to split the bodies, that's easy enough. The diaphragms sound fine. You can tell when there's diaphragms split. I'll take them apart and look at them, but it's not going to need diaphragms. Soak everything in carb juice. New float ball gaskets. New O-rings there, yeah. And I think job will be a good one in terms of the carburetors. Oh, and float needle valves too. These float needle valves, these little rubber tips. Fucking hell, we know this. Do we want to get into this now? This little rubber tip on the end of the float needle valve. They get a bit hard and old, and there's a chance that, you know, can't maintain a fuel level in the float bowl. They get intermittent. So when the end of these float needle valves get a little bit hard, I know we've talked about this in the past. If this fucking camera will focus on my hand, come on, focus on me. I'm not sure that's in focus, but the tip of this float needle valve, they're Vitron rubber, I think they are. Anyway, they get a bit hard, and they'll seal intermittently. So you'll think they're fine, and then the fucking wind will change direction, and all of a sudden the carbs are pissing out fuel. So clean and polish that seat, soak everything in carb juice. Yeah, some new needle valves, genuine Suzuki ones. Although I think I might be able to I might even have some Kane ones that aren't, you know, genuine Suzuki part number, but are the genuine article. I'll finish stripping those. You don't need to see that on camera. I'm curious. I want to get a list together, you see, of stuff I need to order. Let's get the plugs out quick. Get the cover off the end of the crankshaft. Let's stick a bore scope in there and have a quick look. I'm pretty sure it's going to be fine. Let's eyeball that. And then the other thing I want to really look at is see what's going on with that rear master cylinder. See why that's seized up solid. Right. Stick that there. Plugs are out. I want to... Is that the right Allen key? Yes. Plugs are out, but I want to turn it over by hand. Well, it hasn't got a battery on to start with, so I'm not going to use the electric start. And I just, you know, it hasn't turned for a long time. Sensible just to initially turn them by hand if you can, when they haven't run for such a long time. Just in case you don't want to cause more damage, do you? See, that one is how I remember the GSXR 750 SP when I took this cover off, and it had doughty washers on every single bolt, whereas this one only has one on this one. That's what you would expect. You wouldn't expect them on every one. I'm assuming that gasket, this gasket on all these oil-cooled GSXR engines, the gasket is always the same one, is it? I've got the gasket for the GSXR 750 SP here. Is that the same or is that different? It looks the same to me. We'll check the part number anyway. Right, 17 is that, or is that a 19? 19 even. Let's get the bore scope, turn it over and have a look. Okay, bore scopage. The plugs are out and they are D90As. That doesn't seem right to me, but what the fuck do I know? It's not what I was expecting to see in it. I can't find a listing either. I'll do a bit more research. DR90A maybe, but not D90A. Anyway, bore scoping. I haven't turned it yet. Let's just have a quick eyeball in here. I need to remove a glove because the screen doesn't... Can I record for you? I think that's recording. Let's have a gander down here. There's some valves. Valve seats don't look too bad, do they? Let's go in here and turn a bit. Yeah, it looks pretty good to me. Okay. Turn it all the way around. Let's try a different cylinder. Here we go. I don't think we have anything to worry about at all, do we? Is it even worth looking in the others? Probably is. Just in case. While we're here, it's number 3. What's that? That's just oil. I think it's gonna be fine, isn't it? Which is exactly what we expected. That's one number fucking... Say that, put it in like number 4. There's no piston in there or something. Yeah, okay. It's fine, isn't it? Let's stop that recording. Let's put a socket on it, which is 19mm. Not that way, the other way. Exactly what you would expect. Okay, that's fine. Basically at this point I just need a shopping list, so I'm just going to pull the calipers and have an eyeball. And then the elephant in the room is the master cylinder. Let's get that off. I suspect just a seal kit for it will be enough. And then you probably can't see from there, but fucking colour of that clutch fluid. It's all going to be changed anyway, but it's like black treacle in there. Okay, calipers off, and let's get that master cylinder off. Let's have a butcher's at these. I'm assuming they're going to be lovely. There's no sign of any corrosion anywhere on this bike. I'd be amazed if it's ever got wet in its life. Yeah, the way they slide off those discs. I mean, there is a very strong argument to say, well, they need to be rebuilt with new seals, right? Because of the age of it. Guy doesn't want to go that far, spend that much money. They're nice and free. There's no sign of any corrosion. I'll pump the pistons out a bit. I'll clean everything off with brake cleaner. You know what I mean? Just a bit of a clean. Obviously, they'll get fresh fluid in them. I'm assuming the other side is the same. Caliper bolts aren't overly tight. Should be a little bit tighter than that, you could argue. Yeah, they push back really easily. Nothing to see here. However, there is something to see here. That is... fucking hell. I mean, it's rock hard. It literally does not want to move. How is that even possible? Ah. So that now is not, that's pushed the piston up inside. It's not doing anything now. It's not pumping anything. It's just the mechanism moving. Piston's stuck up inside. Is that seized? Yeah, now the rear wheel won't go around. Lovely. Okay. Got to get that off there. They're always fucking seized in, those things. Always. I think they thread lock them for some reason. Let's get an Allen key. The number of these fucking bolts over the years that I've drilled the head off helps you to get the right size, Jim. It's that one, isn't it? Jesus, they already look like they've been a little bit mangled. Somebody been here before me. Let's get a knocking stick. So did he know this was an issue and neglected to mention it? I wonder. Pretty sure that is going to round off and not come undone. Oh, it's turning. Fucking hell. I was not expecting that. But as we all know, it doesn't matter where you start, it's always the fucking last one you can't get out. So this one's not coming out then, based on that fucking logic. It's turning. Fucking hell, the gods are on our side today. Now then, little split pin there. Free that off, and then there's a brake line. Need to put one of those bolts back in loose, or even both of them back in loose, so I can crack that brake line off. Can't get this fucking reservoir out through that hole. So I'm going to have to, I don't know, crimp that pipe. It's a little clip, pull that off the master cylinder, then open the crimp up and let the fluid drain out of this, probably. That's probably the best plan. Try and contain the mess as much as possible. Right, 12mm spanner on there. Pair of pliers. Stuff a load of rag under it. That rag there, I had my scope on. Put that under it. Okay. $12mm on there. Let's get that rag ready to catch all the schmoo from there. Okay. A little bit of pressure in that line. Obviously now I've hoofed the brake lever down and it's got stuck. Now then, I can't use these gloves with brake fluid because they'll just soak it up and ruin them. Rather a sweaty hand than one covered in brake fluid. It's not good for you. Okay. You down there. Washer. And then got a clip here. Will they do it? Maybe. Gonna need to get some bendy pliers perhaps. Or even two of my fingers. There we go. Different pliers required. I think, if you could fucking see what I was doing, I think this part is probably drawing to a close. I know I need a seal kit for this. The only question mark really is going to be under. The only question mark is going to be under whether or not the bore inside of it is, you know, corroded or not. It's kind of weird for them to get that stuck. It's not normal, that. The washer. Poke the little pin out. We should have, take the bolts out of course, a master cylinder. Just leave that under there, catch any of those bits dripping. There you go then. Need to get it apart. Make sure the bore isn't damaged. Get it in shot. Get some seals for that. Need some bits for the carbs, set of plugs, gasket for that. End cover. Gonna make a shopping list. Appreciate all of you. There's going to be another part to this. Obviously, probably won't be more than 2 parts. We'll smash our way through it in the second part and get riding it. I'll get the carbs done, ready for... Don't want to see that. You've seen a million carburetor rebuilds, haven't you? Thank you, guys. I appreciate you all. Love you. Bye. Well, there's a part number on this air filter. There's handy. I wonder if I can get one. Let's look that part number up. What about CMS NL then? 13780 05800. That one. Full stop. Beauty. Yes, please.